Alright guys, hello, and here we're gonna start working with the comic book cover of the Wild Warriors issue 5. So I just got my book, Comic Thumbnails. A really cool looking book. This sketch belongs to, put my name there, and starts off by showing some blank sheets of paper where I can put my character references. I already know how my character looks more or less, so we're going to skip over that. And we're going to go directly through here. So these are the panels, and each one of these represents one whole page of a comic book. So what I'm going to do is start creating thumbnails here for what would be my next cover. To get things started, I recommend using pencil, something like that, or just mechanical pencil, whichever one you prefer. I often use the mechanical pencil more for little details, and I then use a regular pencil to just get started. This particular one is kind of dark. It's like 4B, so let me go ahead and get just another one. There we go. Oops, sorry. So this one is a 2B pencil, which is actually a little bit lighter. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start on this side of the page, as is actually easier for me to draw on this side of the page. I prefer it. So first off, I will have kind of like a block out of where my title will be. So it will be there. Then this information down here where I have my issue number and all that. So this area is often blocked like that. Let me go ahead and get started with my first thumbnail. On this particular one, what I'm thinking about doing is have two characters overlooking each other. So I try to think about the general shapes that we will see. Notice how light I'm doing each stroke, because over here all I want, really the goal, is to keep things kind of loose. Later on we'll be tightening up the sketch. So here we go. That's my first thumbnail. I'm gonna go ahead and write down on top here. Issue number 5. So that's 1, 2. So I am gonna end up doing 4, just 1 page. I'm really liking what I have here, and I'm still gonna create about 3 more. It is a good thing that you end up with different possibilities before committing to one. I'm really liking this. We have a character here, which is covered up, kind of open and about to attack my other character down here. So this is the first time where I'm deviating from my traditional cover, where I just show the character Kumbo. Now this time around, this is going to be the first time where he's not going to be on the cover, because in this particular issue we see very little of him. This particular issue 5 is more about Rockvald, which is his sidekick. So I just want to make sure that my cover here is descriptive to what it is that you will be seeing on the comic book. I always get turned off by covers that has nothing to do with the actual issue at hand. I remember this one time I purchased a Spider-Man comic book, and Spider-Man did not appear in the whole entire thing. I mean, he wasn't in costume at all. So I was a little turned off by that. I was very young at the time. And so I always thought to myself that, hey, if I ever do anything, then I want to make sure that my cover represents the art inside. That's another reason why I also leave the actual cover to the very end. So issue 5 as of now is completely done, but I just, the only thing that I have left is the comic book. And because I want that flexibility and I want to be able to convey the story on the cover, I wait to the very last step to actually create the cover. So without further ado, let's go ahead and keep continuing here. Now just create about 2 more. I am very happy with this one though, but I don't want to neglect the possibility of maybe finding something that I like even more. Okay, so here we go. Um, I understand that these are very, very rough and probably they're gonna be very hard for you to understand. But this is part of my process. I often just do something very quick. As you can see, this might have took me maybe 3 to 5 minutes at most, maybe even less than that. And all I all I'm looking for is to get the ideas out. So I'm not thinking too much about detail. I keep it extremely rough and just convey a general idea. So you might not be able to understand it, but I do. I see that this is the character, this is his hand, this is the torso, this is the face, this is the head, this is the arm, right? The gesture is kind of like he's twisting. So here are some of the legs. Here's the tail. So that's how I would like you to approach your thumbnails. Do not waste too much time in this stage. Pump them out as quick as possible because you might have to come back to them and then refine them all. But the idea, you can get a good glance in terms of where your idea is going. If it's working, perfect, keep going. If it's not, then kind of stop it there. I can always come back to any of these and just add more details later. Let's go ahead and now and move on to the third one. So in this one, I will be adding more detail. Right now is too rough even for me. So let's go ahead and do that. Often to add further detail, I can just keep going with the pencil, or I can just grab my mechanical pencil. I think we'll go ahead and do that. Sometimes some thumbnails will take you longer than some others. As you guys saw, I breezed through those first two. Now this one is requiring more time, and you do what you have to. Even though I'm now adding a little bit more detail, I still want to keep my line work pretty loose and pretty rough. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so we got the character leaping forward into the page. I can throw in the title back there. This could be actually behind the character. If this was like the first issue of the series, I would never do that. I would never cover up the title like this. But because it is not the first issue, and this is a sequence, it's actually issue 5, I think this will read extremely well the way it is. So, pretty happy with this one too. And you see, that's what I'm talking about right now. Instead of having just one possibility that I liked, now I have 2 possibilities. And from here, I can start now asking my friends, my family members, and so on, what do they think? Other artists that do comic books, which one do they think it should be a better choice for the cover? Okay, so pretty happy with this one as well. Let's go with one more. Okay, so let's go with another just standing pose. I want to go with something not too crazy. So this one is pretty dynamic, which I do like. This one is somehow dynamic. This one is a nice composition. Let's go with something just kind of standard and see how do we feel about that one. I'm a big believer that characters should be doing something. Always something, not just standing there. But sometimes, we gotta try different things. So I'm just gonna try a character standing. And seeing where this takes us. Okay. So there we go. I gotta be honest, I'm more happy with this than I thought I was gonna be. Still, I feel this one is more dynamic. Number 3. I still feel that number 1 is better because it does have 2 characters instead of just the one. But I think I can go either way. I can go with 1, 3, or 4. Certainly not 2. 2 is just not cutting it. Alright guys, and there you have it. That's how I go about my comic book covers. Just creating quick thumbnails. And once I find the ones that work, I go ahead and start getting some feedback. So if you follow me on social media, whether it's YouTube or Instagram, you will probably see me asking to cast your vote. Which one do you like more? 1, 3, or 4? Alright guys, that's all for tonight. Thank you very much.